Welcome to another episode of Hobby Nonsense. It's your boy, Jesse Gibson. And it is Ray Solorio.
You are Jesse Gibson.
I am. Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. I got
Did you ever have another nickname growing up?
I was going to say, I got feedback recently.
Because your middle name is Rhodes, right?
It is. Yeah.
Are you kinfolk to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes?
You know, a lot of people don't ask me that, and surprising to say, no, I'm not. I did get called Rhodey. My cousin would call me Rhodey. I had a couple people call me that. Rhodey, I don't know. From
Rhodey.
Rhodes.
Okay.
I had a couple other names. Like one summer between 8th and 9th grade, I went to my uncle's place in Texas.
The middle to high school switch.
Yes, and I was in that, redefining myself going into high school, and I went off and spent a summer. A few weeks of the summer in Texas, and my uncle, he started calling me Jeezy. Jeezy. Like instead of Jesse, it was Jeezy. Do you know Michael Sluter, right? From school, I do. Remember?
Yeah.
In science class, 9th grade, I meet this guy. And I always thought I was really funny. Like I was the funny guy in most classes. I tried to be. That was my goal.
Humble might be a different thing.
No,
funny.
I never said humble. But I did try to be the funny kid. And I remember this kid, this guy blew me away. I laughed at everything he said. And he started calling me a different nickname that sounds like Jeezy.
What was it? Is it inappropriate to say?
It's kind of inappropriate to say considering the family audience that we portray around here. I'll say it started with a J, and it sounded like Lizzie McGuire. So not the McGuire part, but
Jizzy.
Why did you?
Is that what it is?
You
could have said no.
Anyways, so he started calling me, and then that started to be my nickname, and I was just like, this is not how high school was supposed to go for me.
But did you come into that year telling your friends, call me
Jeezy?
Jeezy.
I did. I told a few people
and then that was the mistake.
That was the mistake I've made, yeah. But fortunately, it was very short-lived.
You can't pick your nickname.
Exactly.
Especially if you come in, hey guys, call me Jeezy.
Well, and that's kind of goes back
to... And no, we're going to call you...
That goes back to what I was going to say was I got some feedback maybe Sports Boy is more of my SCN nickname, and Hobby Nonsense should be I should have a different nickname. I don't think know.
So. No.
I think Sports Boy is funny in the sense of how I'm not a sports guy.
I think that's the
joke, right? Yeah, that's okay. I'm open to feedback.
Is that why, who gave you that nickname to begin with?
The Sports Boy nickname?
The Sports Boy.
Actually,
did you just give it to yourself?
So I brought it up on SCN, but it was...
You brought it up, I want everyone to be calling me Sports Boy?
No. I just said, this is what my wife has been calling me, or I had, my wife and some friends started calling me that after we were doing the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast, because they know I wasn't a big sports guy, and they were just like, Sports Boy over here.
Sports Boy over here.
Yeah, so that's
I like that.
Kind of where I came from. But
what's your favorite sport?
It depends. To watch, to play, to talk about. There's different ones.
Give me all three. Which one do you like to watch?
I prefer to watch football.
Which one do you like to play?
I like to play a little
basketball.
I like to throw the pigskin around a little bit.
Okay, and which one do you like to talk about?
I think talking about is baseball, just because I feel like there's so much to talk about that I want to see changed.
Baseball?
Yeah, it's I don't even know if it's baseball. I think it's probably football. I think baseball only falls in the category baseball falls into is the one I like to watch in person. I think it's kind of it's not too crazy.
They call it America's favorite pastime because
it's relaxing.
Just, throw it on the TV and just do stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Just kind of check back on it.
And that's the thing. I can go to a game and it's it's just kind of chill, have a beer, have a dog, watch, enjoy.
We like to call them glizzies around here.
I know that, and I apologize for making that mistake. Guys, welcome to the show. Have you
ever been down to the Brave Stadium and just...
No, bro. I've only been to Wrigley Field.
This summer, you need to go down to Atlanta. It's not in Atlanta. Can't remember where it's at. But do that whole situation. Stay at the Omni next door. It's a whole thing, man.
I would love
Everything's
to.
right there. You don't have to leave. Everything's right there.
I will say
restaurants. The restaurants aren't that great.
It's got big shoes to fill. Going to Wrigley is iconic, and I've been there like 2 or 3 times now, and that's really the only game. I've been to actually a few different stadiums. Actually, that's not true. I went to a Mets game last year. I was gonna say that's the only professional game I went to, but no, I've been to the Mets game. But Wrigley Field's amazing. So yeah, I'd go check out Braves.
Have you seen any Savannah Banana games?
That is my ultimate. This
is how we.
Yeah. Now we're
transitioning. I watched them on YouTube. They were playing the Clowns.
Oh, there's a team called the Clowns?
Yeah, it's a whole league, dude. It's
well, that's the thing. They keep building out new teams. They keep adding more. That's why I think Savannah Banana is like when and or if MLB goes on strike, which they are saying it may very well. I think that is what will fill the stadiums because those stadiums are still going to need to be rented out and people making money. I think that's what you see grow exponentially faster if that happens. But we'll see. That'll be a much more nonsense-driven conversation of baseball. Yeah. On today's episode, we do have a guest joining us in just a few minutes. Mike from Warehouse Collectibles, which I only found him from the feed. Like on Instagram, you scroll through and just happen to stumble upon people with similar interests.
The algorithm is working.
This thing is crazy. They've got this. It's literally a warehouse just filled with collectibles. And I honestly wanted to talk to him, just find out personally. Like I had a big interest of what's in there. How did this come to be? What all kinds of cards, comics, action figures, what's in here other than these?
We don't know exactly what's all in there. I've seen comic books.
I think that is the biggest thing in action figures. I don't think cards are all that big, but they did have a large amount of cards from Magic, like the TCG, but I think those may have gotten sold off. So anyways, we're going to talk to Mike about a lot of this stuff. It'll just be a really fun conversation. I also want to do like a little bit of circle back thoughts on last week's Neon and Fantastic Four Finest because
let's talk about it. I mean, shout out to Trick Williams. You pulled 3.
Well, I pulled 3 1-of-1s last week.
1-of-1 last week. Is that a record
in a week? Probably, honestly, like
intense.
I think what's more crazy is that I pulled 2 1-of-1s out of 6 cases of Finest, and I pulled 1 1-of-1 out of 4 cases of Neon, which I think I don't know. The odds seemed like that was not going to be.
Odds are forever in your favor.
You know what? I just started watching that last night with my daughter, with Charlie. Do you even know what it's from?
It's from Hunger Games.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh. I only saw the first one. I never saw
really.
There's like 5 of them.
Well, there's like new ones. They turned the first. There was going to be 3, and then they turned the third one into 2 movies. So there was like 4 originally, but now they've got 2 more. They've made 1, and there's another one coming out, like a prequel.
Have you been reading any of the Dungeon Carl books?
Dungeon Carl?
Dungeon Carl?
What's Dungeon Carl?
You've never heard of these books?
Wait. Is this
Dungeon
what my niece was
Crawler Carl?
Hang on. I got to check a text message from my niece. My niece, I'm finding out, is into sci-fi.
Shout out to the Gibson niece.
This is actually she's from the Hovies side of my mother.
The Hovies.
My wife's side of the family. Let me see. She had said, yeah, Dungeon Crawler. That's what it was. Dungeon Crawler Carl. She said she tried to get into that. What was she said the concept was very interesting. It's like you're reading a video game, but in practice, the author chose some really emotionally wrecking things to add in there. I just couldn't take it. Okay, there you go. He said, honest to God, think the author is deranged. So it sounds pretty good.
I think there's 9 books. Okay. And the 10th book is going to be broken up into 2 books.
I love how nerd culture keeps overlapping. How we're seeing like books, movies, cards coming out for all these things.
Is it Seth MacFarlane, the Family Guy, Ted? He just bought the rights to it and is turning it into a TV show. Dungeon Carl.
Really?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah. But anyways, I just purchased the book the other day at Walmart. I saw it in there and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read this book.
Well, yeah,
I've heard a lot about it.
How did we even get onto the topic of books?
I think I just randomly brought it up.
I think what we were talking about was the Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games
site, and that's only because you said a thing. So going back, may the odds be ever in your favor. The odds of me pulling these cards, I don't think it's that astronomical, honestly. Like one super out of 4 cases. Here's the thing about that. It wasn't even, well, I guess technically the neon wasn't a super. They're foil fractors in that one, but it was a 1 of 1. What was really a tease in neon, Disney Neon is a cool set. I will say this. So Disney Neon is cool. It needs another hit per box. It needs at least one more hit or at least like throw in 4 numbered cards or something like that. Because 2 numbered cards per box just was not quite enough. Like
it needs 4. It needs a little something,
for a hobby product. Like it, I guess if I thought of it more like a Disney Wonder, which I think is the crowd that they were going for, like the younger audience, it wouldn't be as, needing. It wouldn't have a must hit card in there because kids don't have to have must hits in everyone. Most kids would probably be fine with a lot of the refractors, the chrome cards, the 2 numbered cards in there. But since there are a lot of adults ripping these products, I think that would probably put a lot of other people at ease knowing like, oh, well, at least I had 1 hit in every box. Because it's like $200 a box. Granted, from retail, it was like $109. So it is on the hobby, the public, and the big box stores for those prices going up so much. If it were, call it like $150 and it only had the 2 numbered, I think you're probably fine. I don't think there's any issue with that. But that being said, it was still really fun. 2 autos a case. Again, you can't have not every product can have 2 autos. We didn't pull any sketches from it. The sketches I saw were really cool, but we just didn't pull any. It was the Scrooge McDuck coins, like
that's cool.
You have a piece of his treasure type of thing. That was pretty cool. It's not guaranteed you'll get one every case, but we got one 3 out of 4 cases. The real stinger was in the very first case we opened, the very first box. We're going through it, and I'm like, no way we have a foil fractor. Like let's
talk about it.
Very first box. And it was like within the first few cards we're going through, and I'm like, I see this shiny foil, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is happening. So I set it aside till we're done with the rest of the cards in that one box. And then at the end of it, we go back to it. And I'm realizing, I'm like, you know what? As I saw that card, I saw the edges. I never saw anything else. We started talking, what are the odds? We found a foil fractor in the very first one. That's crazy. Yeah. And come to find out, it wasn't a foil fractor. It was a blank. There was nothing on it except for the pattern. There was nothing it was a blank backside of it. And we weren't missing any autos in that box or the rest of the case. That's what everyone's hope was, is like, please tell us we're missing something, because then I can reach out to Topps and be like, hey, we were missing autos. Can we get a replacement boxes? So I can throw something in for this break or something? But we didn't. Everything was there. It was just a blank foil fractor card. And you know what's crazy is one of the guys who was in that break, he was opening a separate box for himself.
Got the same thing?
He got one of those blanks in there. So I'm really curious what the deal is there. Yeah.
But you just didn't pull 1. You did 2.
Well, so
2 blank cards.
Well, that was the other thing. So in that same box, that's why we started wondering if there was something fishy, because before we were done with that box, we found another blank. It was, honestly, I don't even know what that pattern.
It was different from the other pattern. It was like a Cosmo-like pattern.
Yeah, there was literally like a little galaxy swirl in there that looked like the Pokemon swirl. And you said it wasn't.
It wasn't. It's not.
I still question
the swirl isn't the same swirl.
I question. But there was no other parallel in there that matched that. So I don't know what that one was. It was it was very strange. But
here's the thing, and I'm going to bring it up. You might not like this, but something is going on with Topps' quality control with their cards right now. I don't know what it is, but something is up. Maybe they're pumping out cards way too fast between those 2 blanks, the other blank that dude found, and then the day before, or what was it, the day before, or where you found the Deadpool card.
Yeah.
In
stuck to the back of a base card. Yeah.
Of a base card of what?
It was, we were ripping Star Wars, or was it?
No.
Was it? Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think we're ripping
So
Fantastic Four.
in the Fantastic Four, the finest,
yeah, we had a dog
you
pool
had
sketch.
you had a dog
pool
auto, which
Stuck.
should be in the Deadpool product.
Yes.
And then I keep seeing WWE product in the Topps football Chrome product.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've seen multiple times?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So something is going on. The quality control issues need to be addressed, especially when you have a dog pool, something that's super sought after in the Deadpool product, not even randomly being in another product. Could you imagine if you didn't know what that was?
Yeah. Honestly, that would be kind of crazy. If it's like one instance, it's okay, but multiple things, it seems like maybe we could do a little work here. Like we should find what is the issue. Why does this keep happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's like an individual, a machinery part, whatever is spitting out,
I don't think it's an individual.
Well, I mean, there's obviously some kind of mistake.
There must be some eyes on it.
Right?
Exactly. So if you're listening to this and you've noticed other instances of this happening when you're opening any kind of Topps product, put it down in the comments. Let us know. Is this just a one-off? Is just random?
Yeah.
Or is it a reoccurring thing? Because maybe this is something that we need to address.
Just so everybody knows, the super that we hit was Linguini in Disney Neon. In the Fantastic Four, we pulled one of I would call it probably the 5th biggest superfractor in that product. We pulled the Galactus Auto 1/1, which was huge. Like that's just an amazing card.
Who's doing the voice of Galactus in the
Ralph? Oh no,
Macchio?
Yeah, Ralph Macchio. That's it. Ralph Ineson is his name. So we pulled that one, and then we also pulled another I would call it more minor character, but it is the first time he appeared in a Topps product. Immortus.
Did you know that Dune 3 and Adventures Doomsday are releasing in the same day?
No way.
Yeah.
Why? No, one of them guaranteed.
They're
one
calling
of them
it
changes.
Doomsday.
One of them's got to change.
Well, one of them's trying to get someone to budge, but they're both not budging.
That'll be
And
interesting.
Dune has like the rights to all the IMAX screens.
Oh, Doomsday will change, I bet.
We'll see what happens.
All right, let's get our guest Mike from Warehouse Collectibles in here.
Mike Warehouse.
Before we jump into today's episode, quick shout out to our sponsor, eBay Live. If you think eBay is just a marketplace, you're missing a whole side of it. eBay Live is where real-time excitement meets rare, exclusive, hard-to-find cards and collectibles. You can watch live auctions, catch exclusive drops, and buy directly from trusted and, quite frankly, the best sellers like myself while it's all happening. It feels like a show, not just shopping, with great hosts, the aforementioned me, creators, and streamers. Plus, everything's backed by eBay's protections and authenticity guarantees. To check it out, download the eBay app, tap the eBay Live button right under the search bar. Make sure you follow, obviously, Sports Cards Nonsense. Let's get back to your show.
All right, so we've got Mike from Warehouse Collectibles who has joined us now. Mike, thank you so much, first of all, for coming on the show. How's everything going today?
Yeah.
Hey, everything's fabulous. Just trying to get some stuff ready for selling. We got a lot to move here, so every day is just shipping things out. So yeah, things are great.
Well, I can imagine that you've got a pretty big operation on your hands to be shipping out. For those who are listening, you can't fully appreciate quite right now what we're seeing. It is, I think the best description is Ray said a Costco. It looks like just pallets of boxes stacked, I don't know, at least 20, 30 feet up into the roof of this warehouse. What is this? Like, how did this warehouse come to be?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a buyer and reseller. Always been buyer, always been a seller. Was a side hustle and it kind of became a full thing. Well, I have someone I kind of knew that wanted to retire, and they said, "Well, I've got these warehouses full of stuff, and I don't know how to just get rid of all of it in one shop. Would you help me? Get rid of it in one shot. Would you help me find a buyer?" And I thought, well, okay, yeah, show me what you've got. And so she took me to these warehouses, and they were just full of comic books. There were some cards, there were action figures and toys, and a lot of stuff from 1990s and before. And just the short version is, her and I talked. We came up with a price that we thought would be a reasonable one for the buyer and seller. I shopped around to the big folks that I knew, got a lot of lowball offers, a lot of people that wanted to pay half price and whatnot. And then after shopping around for a bit, my buddy who owns a brewery, he owns Jackrabbit Brewing. He said, well, why aren't, he was helping me. He actually had someone that was interested, didn't want to pay full price either. He said, well, why don't you and I do this? We, come up with capital, we'll buy it out. Seems like it'd be a good time, and so we paid the full asking price. And here we are about 8-9 months later, just cranking through stuff. So that's the real abbreviated version with a whole lot that happened in between. But that's how it kind of originated.
So this all came from one person or one company that owned all of this. Is that correct? Wow. Yeah.
So this person, it was a man and a woman, and they went to shows. They sold on eBay. They've been doing this for since the 80s sometime. In the 90s, they started bringing in stuff from distributors and bringing in, kind of really getting their inventory up. So it was about 7 months before we bought it. The man passed away. The woman wanted to retire. She didn't want to do it all by herself. And, they had built so much, like a ridiculous amount of inventory. If you guys seen the videos, the amount of inventory. She's like, I don't know how to deal with this. She's selling 2 items on eBay a day, yet she's got 1 million items in these 3 warehouses. She's like, I want to be done. So that's what they did. They built up this inventory, had a great business going. They kind of raised their prices during the COVID years when people were paying crazy money for everything. And then after COVID was done, the sales just completely dropped down. And they're like, oh, we don't care. Let's just, they were kind of over at that point. They had built this and done it for so long that then they had these just massive inventory that they needed to deal with. And they found the right guy to help them out.
I'd say so. Yeah, exactly. Well, in this warehouse that you're in right now, you had mentioned that they had multiple warehouses. Is it all consolidated into one now, or is there still another warehouse outside of this?
No. So this warehouse here, it's all in this one warehouse. So we combined them all, but this was all just a sea of pallets. I always described it like that. The end of Raiders of the Lost Ark when they're walking in the warehouse and there's just a mile long of boxes and stuff. Well, there was no pallet racking or anything like that. So we just started organizing this one, got the racking up, and then started combining the other 2 warehouses into this one location. So this is everything, and this is plenty. More than I need.
Mike, I'm just really curious. Did you have any kind of prior experience in selling online or any of the stuff that they had in all their warehouses of old 80s, 90s comic books and action figures and nostalgia? Like, did you have prior?
Sure. Yeah, no, I've been selling. I mean, it goes all the way back to selling candy out of my locker in junior high school. I've always been buying and selling. I've bought and sold some of this stuff on I know cards fairly well-ish. And then comics, I didn't know a whole lot about. Toys, action figures, I could, probably pick a good one out of a lineup, before this. But I have always had, you can give me any product and I'll figure it out. And this just happened to be a lot of one type of product. I've bought closed businesses for years. I buy storage lockers. I buy estates. I do all that stuff. I do less of it now that we've got this project, but I've been doing that for the majority of my life. So nothing on this scale with this type of an item, but I've dealt with a little bit of all this kind of stuff. And I've dealt with a whole lot of everything else in addition.
Well, I'm very curious when we talk about a lot of this stuff, what is like the most of it? Because I know you've got a lot of different things, but what would you say the majority of the warehouse is?
I would say, we always estimated the number of comic books at about 1 million. We started off with about 100,000 toys and action figures. I would say we've chiseled that down, maybe by 20,000. But yeah, so it's going to be mostly that. We did have a Magic the Gathering. I know you guys mentioned cards. We did have an amazing Magic the Gathering collection that came along with this. We sold that immediately. That was, too much value to be sitting in a warehouse. We wanted to get that out of our hands. So we did that first thing.
What kind of value? Do you mind me asking? Like an estimate? Of
sorry,
like
say it one more time.
I'm sorry. Do you mind me asking that, like an estimate of like what the Magic the Gathering cards were? Because those can really range. If you've got some really rare early ones, it could be up into the millions. Sure. But then it's like other ones might not be as valuable.
I'll tell you. Well, think of the very best ones, and a lot
Black
of those
Lotus.
were here. So we did have the best one. We always talk about the Alpha Black Lotus. We had one of those. It was Beckett 9.5, so one of the best ones known. It was signed by Christopher Rush as well. The signature was a 10. It was a 9.5 graded card. So really high. That was a big part of the decision. That was part of what made this all a no-brainer because of that card. So we were willing to put the investment out there. But in addition to that, the Power 9, I think we had, gosh, I want to say 4 or 5 of the Power 9 high grade. Wow. And then, thousands and thousands of alpha cards. Graded cards, we probably had, I think we had about 5,000 graded Magic cards. So it was vast. It was, there was so much of it and the value was so high. Like I say, we got rid of that first because, who knows when a tornado is going to hit, though we don't get those in California too much, but we didn't want it in our hands anymore. We got rid of them. Well, we sold them for a great price.
Well, I'm very happy for you. You mentioned graded cards, and then when I've seen some of your Instagram footage, I've seen the graded comic books. It's not like, I think a lot of people assume when there's like just a bunch of these collectibles all together in one place that it's just all raw stuff, probably tattered, not in good condition. But is that the case here?
No. So here, a lot of the stuff, they were they were distributing. So they were making these, I don't know if I have one nearby, I probably do. They're making these 10 packs. So they would get a pallet in or get their cases in. They would open up the case on the comics. They would pull out all the ones, usually the ones at the top of the case had wrinkles and other issues. They would send those back. All the ones that were perfect, they would put them in these little dealer packs, so usually 10 packs, and then put them back in the boxes. So this stuff is mostly directly from the manufacturer, sometimes packed into those bags or bagged and boarded and then left since, they did a lot of buying in the 1990s. As a lot of people did a lot of buying because there was a lot of manufacturing in the 1990s. So they bought that stuff and then they just kept it. It didn't get handled. It didn't get read. It didn't leave this place and come back. It was, it's kind of it's an early warehouse for this product that, didn't have a lot of middlemen before it got here. So the condition is pretty incredible on the stuff from the 90s. There is earlier stuff and, that varies in condition, but the majority is pretty much perfect, including the toys, between the toys, cards, action figures, comics. The condition is really high grade on pretty much everything, or a large majority.
Are the toys on card? Are they loose? Are they still in their
Yeah, I don't know how's your guy with the camera. I could just kind of swing. They're all on card in box. I don't know how big of a screen you guys got there, but
yeah, we can see.
It's a lot. Just happens to be my starting lineup type stuff here, but there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
So
a lot of on card.
Not all that old, but I'm seeing like boxes of Star Wars. Are those all Star Wars toys?
Power of the Force, it looks like.
Yeah, this is all Star Wars. It's going to be it's a lot of 90s stuff. So like I say, they were buying, they were heavily stocking up in the 90s. So you're going to see a lot of what you see here is probably 1990s.
Dude, I'm pretty sure one of those I was given from Tori over at DC Sports, the consignor. There was one of those Star Wars you just held up that is a Jack Porkins. It was the exact same toy. It wasn't that. I think the one you just held up was a different character, but it was signed by the actor that played him. But it was from that set. That's crazy.
The Power of the Force.
Oh, cool.
That is so cool. So
yeah.
The toys are ranging in age, but mostly maybe 90s era. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much 90s. The majority is going to be nice. There was some earlier stuff. They did have some 70s and 80s, but it was a small percentage, or is a small percentage of what's here. They did, like I say, a lot of their buying in the 90s. So yeah, that's the main wheelhouse of the collection here.
Mike, my brain is just spinning with so many questions. And the largest question that I have, what kind of operation are you running there? Like, from the couple initially owning this collection, if you will, to it being transferred over to you. I mean, how was the inventory taken? Did they even take inventory? Do they have a set system that they knew what they had? Like, did you relist everything on eBay?
Yeah.
How many people do you have working for you?
Okay. Let him answer. Yeah.
Let I'm just trying, because like, Mike, you're speaking to my heart, because I'm a buyer and reseller on the side as well. So all this stuff is like, like, that's my Chuck E. Cheese is where you're sitting.
I got you. Yeah. No, I feel the question. I know what you're asking. Yeah. When we bought it, some was inventoried. The basic inventory was what was already on eBay. So their inventory, what was on eBay. Now, what percentage of their stuff was on eBay? 5%, maybe.
That's insane.
So the rest was uninventoried. Like, say, the magic cards were their own thing. I mean, that was obviously, we went through that, and that got very well inventoried in the very beginning. Everything else was just, it's a sea of pallets. I mean, I don't know if I can tilt the camera up, but I mean, it is, there's 3 levels of pallets, and that stuff isn't inventoried for the most part. There's probably, I'd say, about 50 to 60% of the toys we haven't even gone through yet. And I would say probably, I don't know, 75% of the comics we haven't gone through yet.
Wow.
That's the extent of the volume here. But we knew we could see enough. And like I say, I've bought and sold enough stuff in my life to see a good deal when I see it. Mm-hmm. And the value was there when we came in, though we don't have a full inventory and didn't from the beginning. We kind of got the gist of it. You can kind of, it gave the vibe. So we knew there was good stuff in here, and we haven't really looked back. We just keep plowing on through.
The toys I saw you were doing, and I don't know if you were live on Whatnot in showing this off, or maybe it was just on Instagram, but it was like is it Todd McFarlane or
Seth MacFarlane?
No. It's Todd McFarlane is the guy who he's like the creator of Spawn, I believe.
Oh yes.
You had like some of these action figures that you were just pulling out of the box, and it was like, oh, this is another one. It's signed by Todd, and then like you had another one that's signed by the actor from Spawn, and I'm just like, what? Like, how is this even a thing? And you were just kind of, you seemed almost surprised as you were doing it, and that makes sense as what you just said. You have not inventoried everything in here. It kind of racks my brain to like know. That's one of the reasons why I followed you too, because it's like, I want to know when you guys find out what the next big thing is that's in there that you had no idea was there. Yeah,
that's funny, because I was actually looking for that box, and I've already lost it. But that was one. The funny thing about finding that, and I always say his name wrong, and it's kind of become the joke that Mike pronounces everything wrong these days. Todd I always call him McFarlane or Farland. I think it's Todd McFarlane, right? Is that the actual? That
sounds right. It looks like it's spelled Farlane, but Farland,
Yeah. So I was complaining to Earl. It's what Earl and I are very similar in a lot of ways, and we're doing this together. We're 50-50 partners. I'm like, man, there's all this crap in my way. I'm trying to get to the good stuff. We have these. I've got all these figures. There's a bunch of them behind me. I'm like, man, there's like 2 cases of Julius Pepper's action figures. Like, we can't sell it. So I was complaining. So I pulled this pallet down, and it was a bunch more action figures. I'm like, I want to get this out of here. And then right mixed in that pallet was this box with this thing, and we filmed it for our Instagram. I opened it because it said, Todd McFarlane signed things on it. And so we filmed it as we opened it. And we had no idea until that moment that stuff was in here. And I'm hoping that there's going to be many more boxes like that. I mean, we've flipped through them, and I did another video where I was flipping through a box. I was actually trying to get ready for a Whatnot show, and there was just like 6 or 7 or 8 signed Stan Lee X-Men comics just in this random box with, dollar stuff and $10 stuff. And then these all these Stan Lees. I'm like, there's surprises all the time in here when we have a chance to look through stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and so you say like when you have time to go through it, it's you and your partner. Do you guys have other people working for you?
No, we don't really have anybody working. We have some people that help us ship stuff. The shipping is overwhelming, so we do bring in some people to kind of help us with that. But we don't really have any, full-time employees or anything like that. At some point, hopefully, we get there where we can turn a lot of this over to somebody else. But we haven't quite gotten there yet.
So that actually makes me wonder, what's the end goal? Are you guys wanting to just move everything in here? And obviously you guys are doing Whatnot auctions. Is that the main way you're moving things? Do you also have an online store? Could people just come and peruse the shop and buy stuff? Well, yeah. What are you guys doing? Yeah.
So our biggest thing we're doing is Whatnot. We decided we're just going to run tons of stuff on Whatnot. We do Whatnot toy shows every Wednesday I think we changed the time. I think it's 2:00 now, but every Wednesday afternoon. We do an eBay Live every Tuesday afternoon. Tomorrow's is at 3:15. And then every Thursday we do a Whatnot of comic books, graded slabs or singles or something of that nature. So we're doing mass volume that way. The reason why we're doing it that way is that, like I say, I don't know this inventory super well. I could probably pick a lot of the good stuff out of a lineup if I needed to. But running on Whatnot, we have or eBay, we have a good enough following where if we put something up good, we're going to get stuff bid up to close enough for where it's going to make sense for us to sell it that way. We don't have to look everything up and we don't have to hunt down buyers. The buyers come to us. And so we don't get top dollar. We resell to people that might be reselling themselves. But like say, if, 1 million comic books, 100,000 action figures, that could be a lifetime project for a lot of people. So we're trying to make it a little bit less of a lifetime project. But that is our plan for now. We don't have a storefront. We don't have other ways for people to buy from us at the moment. We do have an eBay store that we've got some of our bigger statues in, just because we can't really do those through Whatnot or eBay Live very easily. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what we're doing here as far as selling.
What's the screen? What's the Whatnot and what's the eBay?
So we're warehouse_collectibles on both platforms.
Okay.
And so has anybody reached out to you and just be like, hey, I'm a big buyer or I'm a big collector. I'd love to buy some of your stuff. I know you don't know what all is in there. Can I come and check it out?
Yeah.
Pretty much every single day. Yeah. It's hard. If it was one person that you knew was a big buyer, the problem is early on, there was a few people that were like that, and we let them in, and it takes 2 hours and then they find 2 things that they like. It just isn't the kind of volume. I mean, if we really knew we had a big buyer that paid decent, was willing to pay decent money, that didn't want everything for 10 cents on the dollar, we might consider something like that. But we get hit up all the time, so we just kind of shut it down pretty quickly at this point, just because you know how it is when people are trying to buy, and especially when they're buying in bulk. They want super deals.
Are you guys on the hunt for more, or is this like, no, we're good, we're not buying anything else until we move this?
Yeah, it's funny you ask that. We have so much stuff here, but we're already looking down the road. We're always looking for a deal, something that we can buy and resell, whether it's in this genre, whether it's comic books or toys or wherever. So we definitely have our feelers out there. We just bought a couple pallets of, right next to me, a couple pallets of picture discs, like records. I don't know if you're heavy metal people at all, but Dio Holy Diver picture discs. I just bought 3,000 of those, and now we're trying to find a way to sell those. We got Cypress Hill green vinyl, and we got something else. The Doors, a whole bunch of the Doors, Morrison Hotel picture discs. So
my dad will take one. I'll get
All
one for
right,
my. There you go. I
Yeah,
just put a real
perfect.
dent in that. Yeah.
Hey, eBay Live.
Well,
Yeah.
So are you a collector of anything, of any of this, or do you have anything that you find that you're like, oh, I want to keep that?
Earl and I, we made a very conscious decision to not collect this stuff when we first bought it. I love
Smart.
old stuff in general. I have a massive collection of old stuff of across the board. I've got old stuff. If this was just mine, all the old books would be in my personal collection. Luckily, I have a partner, and so that would be more complicated for me to keep the stuff for myself. So no, at this point, Earl and I, we decided together we're going to collect the Hulk. We just picked something that there was a lot of. We're like, we're going to keep one of every Hulk issue, starting with the graded stuff, and then we'll fill in with the non-graded stuff. And so we have that collection going here. But honestly, at the end, we always say that's probably going to be our last show. You know, the Hulk show is going to be how we cap off this collection. So
that's cool.
That's pretty much it. Actually, we did each keep a Spider-Man 300 for ourselves. There
I was going to say
two graded 9.6s, and we decided we each should get one of those.
Wow, that's incredible. What's anything big that you've found that you didn't realize, like you just started showing it off online, or you put it up on the Whatnot show, and people are like, "What? I can't believe you got that."
Yeah. I mean, it happened a lot, especially in the early days. In the early days, I mean, the people that found us on Whatnot first got killer deal. They got some killer stuff. You know, you always want to find those rooms with the people that are like us, that have a lot of stuff, and just run it all. And if there's like 10 other people, 20 other people in the room, you get great deals. But
yeah,
we sold, I think we did sell a Hulk. I don't know my issues very. I think a 181. We've had a bunch of books that sold for, $500. We sold a bunch of the bulk packs, but we started Whatnot selling the 10 packs because we kind of wanted to get the bulk out of here. And it's, 10 of the same issue in a pack. They took them out of the cases back in the 90s. And so we sold a lot of those 10 packs, and every once in a while one would sell for $600-$700. And we go, okay, I guess that's a good one, because we had no clue.
Sure.
I can't think of anything specifically that blew my mind, but there was a lot of those situations.
I've got a feeling after today, like this will drop Wednesday morning. When people hear this, I think you're going to see a lot of other customers coming into these shows because
bit of an uptick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this is an audience that is directly not only interested in what we're talking about, but there's a lot of flipper mentality out there too, of like, hey, maybe I could find a good deal, and or if I'm not going to keep it for myself, maybe I could make a buck here or there. And I think you're exactly right. People who go into some of these shows early on, they can find crazy good deals, and to know you guys are out there listing stuff where you don't have to, go out and comp it right away because you've got a big enough community to know, hey, if it's good enough, it'll be bid up and you don't have to worry about it. I think that is a really fun kind of experience for people to come and try out. And it's like, hey, maybe I'll find something that nobody else knows about it, and I'll be the only one, and I'll get a great deal.
Yeah, we do run obscure stuff on our show sometimes. And I know there's only one, maybe two people that even know what it is, comic books and that kind of thing, like really off the wall stuff. And so I know that stuff, I was going to say slips through the crack, but it doesn't slip through the crack. It just, people get, good deals on it. Yeah. And so we do have a ton of deals. We have a lot of people that buy books off us, and people that send them in to be graded, just because our inventory is generally, like I say, it was the first and only destination after it left the manufacturer. And so the grade's really high.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. They buy from us, grade it, and sell it.
Mike, I'm just curious because you said a lot of the stuff there that you have in the warehouse is 90s. Any chances there was any old Pokemon boxes laying around that you saw?
Very few. I mean, there was some graded Japanese Pokemon cards. That's about the extent that I know. We actually still have all those. And then pack wise, not too much. There's we found some of these things. As long as I just found this I was going through a box of comic books. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then it's got I guess people like it for the card that's inside.
Wait, is that from the movie?
That's from the movie, but that's the Japanese version. So I think that's the one that the Nintendo is misspelled.
Oh, really?
And so they had to get them back, and they re-released it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang.
It's an Ancient Mew for the people that are listening from the magazine, but from Japan. But there might be a palette somewhere in there where it's just nothing but Pokemon, Mike.
Yeah,
so.
I was kind of curious about that. Yeah, like, do you know at least, like, do the palettes say comic books, or they say toys, or like, are there just blank palettes where you're just going to open one day and it could be Pokemon cards or Pokemon wax that you had no idea was there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of both, but I'd say the chances of there being a palette of Pokemon are really slim. That we pretty much know that there's either, like, there are a couple palettes I know have some cards on them that we haven't gone through. So I guess it is possible, but they kept the stuff that was generally really good in a certain area, and we have already gone through all that.
Okay.
So I'd be surprised if there's any, like, early Pokemon or something like that was worth crazy money, because they were good at what they did. They just have a lot,
Yeah.
And the markets change over the years. Some stuff that was not great back then is now really desirable, and vice versa. And so, yeah. But yeah, the Pokemon stuff's always been kind of good, and they were pretty aware.
Do they have much in the way of vintage? And when I say that, I mean, like, anything, call it 70s and earlier, whether it's comics or cards or anything else?
The majority are comics. There's a ton of, they were comic collectors, I believe, as well, or either they were collectors or they were, they would buy collections possibly. The guy that passed away is the one that was more into the comic side of things. So we don't have the full story. I knew him as well, but I didn't really know what he did. I just talked to him in passing a bunch of times. But I didn't really know how into the stuff he was. But there is a lot of early comics. You're going back to the almost 12 cent. There's a ton of 12 centers in here. So
wow,
yeah, I would say comic wise, I couldn't even venture a guess. Well, if I was going to venture a guess, probably 5,000, 10,000, of that era,
man,
comic books.
Besides comics and cards and toys, what would you say, like, what's a weird thing that you found in there, or are there any weird things? Is it pretty much collectible and that's it?
Man, that's a good question. Let me think. Weird stuff for me, I have specific, I have tastes and things. Like I found as talked about, we bought the Dio picture disc. Well, there's an Iron Maiden Eddie, like 18-inch Eddie from Iron Maiden doll. Like that for me, I think that kind of stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, is it worth crazy money? Probably not, but I dig it. The stuff that surprises me is the signed stuff. It's just, there's signed stuff. There's so much signed stuff in here that I know that I'm sure we found half of it, and who knows what else is in here. Like I say, that we've had this place for 9 months now. The Todd McFarlane box that I just did the video on, I just found that the day I posted the video, which was just this last week. So I'm hoping there's going to be more surprises like that in here. But yeah, most of the surprise stuff has been that. There's been some old cards too. The old cards, I don't know if you guys are into the, like, 80, what was it? Joe Montana's rookie year, 81, is it? Somewhere there. There's a box of those we found, a sealed wax box. There's Jerry Rice rookie year. There was a couple boxes of those.
So they've got sports cards in there as well.
There's some, yeah, not a ton, but enough to keep it interesting. A lot of early wax too, which was kind of fun. That was more kind of what I know better than this other stuff.
I was gonna say the early sports wax. If it's early enough, you may be sitting on another gold mine just in one of those pallets.
Yeah.
Just some of those boxes sealed go for crazy amounts of money, especially if it's never been opened. I can only imagine what a whole case of that would go for. I want to fly out there and tour, like,
what
film
is that?
your
California? Did you say you were out of California, Mike?
Yeah, we're in the Sacramento area.
Oh man,
we're gonna have to take a field trip to Sacramento.
I was just out in San Jose. It's not that far to Sacramento. Dang it.
And my partner owns a brewery too. So, I mean,
come on.
All right.
We need a
brewery
little
first.
Hobby Nonsense IPA.
Yeah, brewery first. Then we head up the warehouse and we do some filming and just see how big
brewery after.
How big of a mess it causes when our brains explode. So.
We're gonna be just ripping random stuff in the warehouse. Mike, I love the idea that
sleeping bag.
I love the idea that you don't know exactly what's all there. It's kind of like a treasure hunt every day that you're there. What has been like the most expensive thing that you have found to date?
Other than the cards, I guess.
Other than the cards.
Yeah. The cards by far have kind of exceeded everything else. Some graded slabs. There's been some great graded slabs. The giant size X-Men #1. I forget what it's graded at, but I think it's probably about an $1,800 thing. There's a lot of stuff in the hundreds of dollars. There's not a ton of stuff in the thousands of dollars still here. We cleared that stuff out because we didn't want, we don't want the liability of it. Once we get known a little bit, we don't want the liability of having really high end stuff here. So there's some slabs that we got. I'd say the X-Men is one of those. Those Spider-Man 300s are another. There's some graded. They did a private signing with Stan Lee in the 90s, early 90s. Whoa. And so that's why we've found so many of those signed. But there's some, graded and certified JSA authentic Stan Lee signature books in here as well. Those are pretty high dollar.
Like a signature, like a book just filled with his signatures? What's a signature book?
It's a signed book.
Oh,
a Stan Lee signed book. But the ones that are graded and slabbed and authenticated, are they're all fairly valuable. But there's a few of those in here which are good.
Well, and
trying to think of anything else, but
there's like Tops that are doing cut autos for cards now for people who've passed.
Oh yeah,
and I can just imagine like you guys would probably be sitting on a treasure trove of cut autos for different, either creators or celebrities of some kind or athlete, where they would probably buy up a big amount of that stuff just to be able to use in cards. I just imagine there's so many things that you guys are able to move on whatnot, but I would think you could probably move pretty easy to the big companies these days, just because the collectible companies are, I don't know, they seem to be buying up everything, expanding as much as they can, because that area of e-commerce is exploding as we speak.
Yeah, do you guys know anybody at Tops that needs some Stan Lee signatures?
I think we can make it happen.
I honestly am going to text the director of entertainment cards over there when we get done and see if that's something that they'd be interested in. Yeah.
Did they buy the Mickey Mantle sticker autos? Did Tops get those? Do you know?
I don't know. Was that a thing?
They had a sheet of like 100 of them. The guy was shopping them around.
I remember. I would not be surprised whatsoever if they did. Yeah, but I remember seeing that. Yeah. There was that one that was like, "This pin sucks" or something like that, is what it said.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike, I gotta say, I really appreciate you coming on here and showing us around as you talk about all this stuff. We obviously have talked about this a few times, but warehouse_collectibles. That's where people can find you on Whatnot and eBay. Is that right?
On Whatnot, eBay, and Instagram. If you kind of want to follow along the story a little bit, see some more videos of what's going on in the warehouse. Whenever we find something, we post it. You can kind of see the expansiveness of the warehouse there as well. And then we link from our Instagram to all of our auctions whenever we do something. We got a few kind of interesting things coming up that we'll put out on Instagram as well. That it's a good place to keep in contact with what we're up to. And it's good nonstop for people that like this kind of stuff. We've got a huge inventory, and we're not afraid to sell it. So check it out.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat here. You'll see when you see Hobby Nonsense buying from you, that'll probably be me and or Ray out there. So
fabulous.
Yeah,
I like to hear it.
I appreciate this, Mike, and hopefully we can do something again, if not in person, before too long. So thank you for the time.
Yeah, if you guys find yourself in the area, the beer's on me and the tour's on me as well.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you again, and we look forward to catching up with you soon.
Fabulous. All right. You guys have a good one.
Well, that was Mike from Warehouse Collectibles.
Dang.
I mean, right? Like that. I think dang is the most appropriate response to seeing what we just saw.
My mind is I'm just thinking of like the couple that started it.
Yeah.
Like, what did they do?
Mm-hmm.
How did they get so much money to be able to buy this? And was that like their retirement plan? Was that like the whole thing that they were thinking of? Or like just that story alone? Like, how many people out there are like those two couples?
Okay, so that question was my biggest question because I remember back, I don't know, maybe it was 2 years ago or something like that, getting introduced to a guy named Tim who owns, at the time it was called ABC Collectibles. With
Okay.
a Z at the end because, they're cool. But he reached out and he started some social media. He had bought a warehouse that was all sports stuff. I mean, there was some non-sport, but it was mainly sports cards in this warehouse. And it was a guy who I think he worked for the government, I want to say, and just bought and bought and bought and bought. And he just bought cards and he would store them. And then one day, I think he was still alive. I want to say he could have passed, but either way, they decided to sell and Tim bought it up and his whole thing was just showing it off. He wasn't even selling. He was just showing it off.
It's like a museum.
Yeah, exactly. And so now seeing another warehouse filled with comic books and toys, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, how many warehouses of collectibles are out there that are owned by one guy or a couple that either collected themselves and or bought it for their side business and just stored massive amounts of things that will come out to the light here in the next year, 2 years, tomorrow, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very cool to me. And it's very exciting because it does feel like a blast from the past. Just like we open a door.
Time capsule.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You just open a door to, these boxes came from the factory and sat here in our climate controlled warehouse and never were touched. And they're in perfect condition as if they just came off the factory yesterday.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
So I'm going into that. I'm going in that whatnot stream.
We have to go.
I'm going in that whatnot
I'm saying
stream.
we have to go there in person.
Oh, dude. I would do it.
The fact that I don't know if they do this or not, but if they're not making YouTube content out of all this, it's like, man, they're missing out on a whole revenue stream.
Right. Yeah. Well, they've got I want to say
documenting I know the Instagram's one thing, but
yeah,
I mean, it's like, that's like a
hey,
diamond in the rough.
This is what we found today. This is what we found this week.
This is what we found today. We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like perfectly edited. It's just like documenting it.
Here's a 3 to 5 minute video that we just made on the fly with just one phone camera and just filming this, and people would watch that
I feel
time.
like this story needs to be a documentary unto itself.
Yeah. A little mini docu-series or something. Yeah, I'd watch.
I will definitely be watching. Which, we were talking about time capsules. I need to talk about my elementary school. What happened to all those time capsules that we had back in the day?
What elementary school did you go to?
Brown.
Oh, you
GW Brown?
You were a GW Brown man?
I was a Bobcat.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, as a Walton Ferry wizard.
They were not called the Wizards.
Yes, we were.
They?
Yes, we were. We were Walton Ferry Wizards, and we had a copyright infringement Mickey Mouse wizard from Fantasia on our shirt. I will tell you that is no longer their mascot now.
What is their mascot now?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember. I've got some cousin, niece, nephew type people that go there. I don't know what their mascot is, but I know it's not.
I remember in elementary school when we had an election to pick a mascot.
Oh, really?
So everyone voted on what kind of mascot we wanted.
They said
and
Bobcat?
The top 3 got put up, and then we would vote on the top 3. So we could do a write-in, and then the top 3 that were written in got into it was Bobcats, Bulldogs, and Bears.
Boring. That's what I heard. Bobcats, Bulldogs, and Bears.
So we went with the Bobcats. We voted.
Brown. It had to be a
GW Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think we should just go to old elementary schools and just start digging. How many time capsules are you going to find out at
Where
these
are
schools?
all the time capsules?
Yeah, what happened to these when we were kids and we do time capsules? Whatever happened to them?
Where have all? There's somewhere.
Where have all the time capsules gone? There you go.
Voice of an angel.
That's a little. If you want to go back and watch the replay of Friday's Disney Neon break, you can listen to Voice of an
Listen,
Angel.
you're putting Z's.
I know because I think they're cool.
Jeezy, you need to settle down. All right.
If you replace an S with a Z or any letter with a Z, you automatically become one level cooler. Everybody knows that.
All right.
Ray and I just had an unspoken agreement that neither of us was going to respond to that. And that was I don't want that pause cut. I don't want the pause
break
cut.
The silence.
Keep it there.
All
right.
Yeah, dude, that was insane. It's insane. So we'll definitely be on eBay Live and whatnot to be checking out warehouse_collectibles.
All right. So interview is good. Oh, I had a note on here. I talked about this on SCN too, but did you see the whole thing about eBay not allowing requests to cancel? Starting
it's
in
a
May?
huge thing in the eBay world, in my world.
Yeah,
because it happens all the time.
You're glad about it though, right?
Oh, for sure. It's a great thing.
I'm trying to find out who's not glad about it. The only people that are not glad about this, I feel like, are the ones that were trying to game the system and or cheat in some way.
No, it's a great thing. And now they need to do instant payment automatically.
Yes.
That's something else that they need to do.
100%.
And I have a friend, her name is Liz, and she is a eBay liaison. She goes to all these eBay events and they ask her to speak about eBay. She just left, they went to Germany.
Oh, wow.
To speak on eBay eBay Germany compared to like the US Germany.
Yeah.
And just like the different laws and regulations, because she actually petitions to go up to Congress and stuff like that to not have certain laws change or to the benefits
she's like
of
a lobbyist or something.
Yeah,
for
they
eBay?
lobby. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. This whole change, actually, it hadn't affected me. I hadn't really thought like, oh, I don't do a lot of buying and selling on eBay, but now that we're doing eBay live shows,
dude, it happens all the time. And we'll get a DM and they'll say, "Oh, sorry, my kid hit the buy button and they request to cancel," or something stupid.
Well, like last night we did the eBay live, those are going great. By the way,
how did that go last night?
Continue to come over to eBay live, guys, because so many people have been coming over from this show and they're just like, I love the podcast, like love Hobby Nonsense. And they come over and check out the show. And it is, I don't know if people are just blowing smoke, but they're like, best show I've seen. Best show I've seen on eBay.
On eBay Live?
Yes. And I'm like, that's a huge compliment. And granted, I'm like kind of already in their wheelhouse of things they like. So I'm sure that helps, but it's a huge ego boost. But I say all that to say we get new people every show. Numbers continue to go up. But last night was our first canceled item. And they canceled it like almost immediately after they bought it too.
The buyer's remorse.
Yeah, it was like immediate buyer's remorse. It wasn't like a crazy expensive item. I think it was like a little over $100 or something. But
I wonder if they looked up comps after and be like,
maybe. But that is exactly one of the things where I'm like, oh, I can't wait till May. Like May 13th. I'm excited because that's not a thing anymore. But then it started making me think, well, just because there's not a cancel request, because I asked Matt.
You can decline the cancellation.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I could have. And before I even did anything, I asked Matt, because Matt is Funkle, is much more used to buying and selling on eBay. Yes, much more used to buying on eBay. And so I asked him before I did anything, hey, what do you think? Should I cancel this? He's like, yeah, just go ahead and cancel it.
Yeah, because you just can rerun it anyway.
Well, because he said, too, if you didn't cancel it and send it to him, they're just going to break it and say, oh, it came broken. And I started thinking that's my fear once this whole you can no longer cancel anymore, that people are just going to start breaking stuff and saying, oh, it showed up broken. This is on you. I want my money back.
I mean, they can do that when you can't cancel anyways.
Sure. But
they can request a refund. Like there's scammers going to be scamming.
Scammers be scamming, and I don't care for it. But I still think it's overall a net positive thing for anybody who's trying to sell anything, whether it's like they're flipping for business and or they just have extra of something and
A
they
little
want
extra on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love it. I love it. One day I'm gonna jump on there and sell some Pokemon cards.
I really,
which reminds me,
want you to do that.
Which reminds me, May 24th, we'll be setting up at the PokeFest at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yes, baby.
So if you're in the Nashville area, come over and say hello.
Please. What did we say? Didn't we have like a code word or like we were gonna have stickers.
Yeah.
We're gonna do like
I'm gonna do some special
we gotta
stickers.
get that done. That's a thing
It's in the works.
Yeah. And if you show up and we don't have those stickers,
no, we'll have them.
We'll have them. It's not even a thing. I saw a crazy stat. This is like not even a story. It's just a stat that I thought was really interesting. So Japanese McDonald's Pikachu. You're familiar?
Japanese McDonald's Pikachu. The Burger Chew?
I think that's it. Or I wonder if it was it's this one, right? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Japanese McDonald's Pikachu.
The Burger Chew. Yeah. The number one graded Pokemon card of all time.
Yes.
The most graded Pokemon.
Do you know how many? I know how many.
Oh, man.
I have a rough estimate.
I don't know. I think the pop PSA 10 pop is like 20,000.
That is probably pretty low because the total PSA grades 293,000.
Okay. Do you know what the pop report is on the PSA 10?
I'll see if I can't find it. But anyways, 293,000 of these McDonald's Pikachu cards have been graded. Do you know how many cards, non-sport cards from the 1980s have been graded?
I have no clue.
304,000.
Of the 1980s?
Just any card, non-sport card from the 1980s, 304,000. This one card has 293,000. There's only 11,000 more of just every card from the 1980s. And we're talking about an era that was exploding with non-sport cards. There's only 304,000. When I heard that
people
stat,
didn't grade back then either.
Well, they didn't grade back then, but they're definitely starting to grade now. And I bet you just in the last few years, that number is probably doubled. I don't even think it may have been more than doubled. But I honestly, firmly believe that the 1980s and 90s is going to see a boom in grading of cards because there's so many out there that, and this is one thing I'm experiencing as we're doing these eBay Lives, where there are cards that people love. It's genres, movies, TV shows of things that they grew up with. They absolutely love them. And they're like, oh, I didn't even know they had those cards. Or, oh, I've saw those cards. I saw a pack of them maybe. But no one has had any graded. And I know that for a fact because we're selling literally the only ones graded, or maybe the only ones out of 5 that were graded. And I only see people be like, oh, I got to have it. I want one of these. How do I get one? And it is crazy too, because a lot of them are like highest grade, even if there have been several graded, is like a 9 because they're just so hard to grade. And that's where people don't realize that a lot of the junk wax has real value if you can find the ones that are in good condition. And it's really not that impossible. It's just a numbers game. Get enough packs, a box, a couple boxes, go through and find something that's centering is just right. The edges are fine and the surface is okay. And you can really turn that money around because we were talking about some, I think it was like the Fright Night set from 1988 Topps. There is a title card because the title card, I think Funkel said when he was on the show, that is a lot of times in these older sets, the big one, because it's like, the one that we're most familiar with. It was on posters and all that stuff. But the title card as a PSA 10 does hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in many cases. And that's what's crazy because there's only 1 or 2 out there. And so when people start to see, oh, there's only 304 1980s cards ever graded by PSA when there's 293,000 of one single McDonald's Pokemon card, I think we are still entering, and we've only just been talking about this the last few months, but we really will see a lot more from that era.
So do you think that there is, we've clearly stumbled upon this gap almost in the market, right?
I believe so. Yes. 100%.
Because when Funkel was here and he was talking about all these, to your point, all these IPs of 90s and 80s junk wax that has never been graded, and the highest grade could be like 7 of some of them, right?
Yeah.
I went through my Rolodex and I'm thinking, okay, what can I get that it's like a rookie of IPs that I really enjoyed when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Right. One of the big things, I have a huge Power Ranger collection. So I have several Series 1 Power Ranger boxes coming to me.
Oh, really?
And I'm currently looking at a binder that someone has of the whole set.
Oh, wow.
Because I just want like all the Power Rangers in like a sequential,
sure, absolutely
graded set, like not caring what the grade really is, but just something that is true and dear to my heart.
Dude, today I went out and bought a 1993 Captain Planet card of Duke Nukem, because it's
Captain Planet as Duke Nukem?
No. It's Captain Planet, the show, but the character Duke Nukem was in the Captain Planet set of cards.
The video game or the computer game character.
No. The character's name is Duke Nukem.
Captain Planet's name is Duke Nukem?
Not Captain Planet, the character on the show. There is a character on the show, not Captain Planet, another character that is called Duke Nukem. I cannot explain that any clearer. You have to now understand what I'm saying.
Not the video game character.
Not the video game character.
So there's another character in Captain Planet's show named Duke Nukem?
Hang on. Now you've got me questioning because you've said it so many times.
That can't be right.
All right. I'm gonna check right now my buying history on eBay. Here we go. Summary. I bought it today. It is hang on. Don't go anywhere.
I'm just Googling Duke Nukem Captain Planet.
Oh, I guess that's another option. Yeah. But bids, purchase. Where's purchases? There it is. All right. So purchases, Duke Nukem. I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. And you know what's funny is I was like,
that's insane.
I was like, there must be some connection because I know the video game Duke Nukem, but this is not from the video game. This is just the character from Captain Planet. And it says on the card.
Yeah, that's Duke Nukem. Yeah.
I mean, but so
what made you want to buy this?
Well, because it's a foil card from I said 1993, 1992 Captain Planet. It's a foil card that you can't find these. I'm telling you, like in America, you can't find these. I think they came out I was talking to Big Hat Tim because
dude, it's even spelled the same.
I know, it's crazy, right? But this is like, he's one of the characters from this set. I obviously want the Captain Planet one. There's a few other ones that this is the first one I've actually been able to buy, and I'm buying it from Australia. The card cost me like $15. Shipping cost me $21, but it's worth it because I have not found anything like any cards from this set where I could actually purchase them before. They've always been like something in Singapore where it was on a site that you can't purchase from the United States and or some other reason. So I say all this to say, these are like some of those cards from our childhood that people can't find, or they know they love the show, the IP in some way, and they want to have, but you're not going to find anything graded because they just can't even get their hands on a good quality card, let alone the card itself. So
that's insane.
All that being said, these foil cards, they actually have like a very similar superfractor pattern, like as the modern day superfractor. So that's another reason why I'm like, oh, these cards I think would do pretty well. But they were a licensed TBS Ted Warner or whatever. What's it?
Yeah, Ted Turner.
Ted Turner Entertainment. So it's all legit cards. But all of this goes back to finding some of these cards and then actually doing some grading and putting them out there.
Putting in the work.
You may think like, oh, well, everybody has it. It's a 92 card of a non-sport. There must have been printed to the moon. Sometimes yes, but just because it doesn't mean you have any good grades of it. But sometimes no, and maybe I'll have the only good grade of it. So yeah, I am very excited to have that card, and I just encourage other people to go out there and see what you can find because you may stumble across something you had no idea was there. Is that a Garbage Pail Kid Duke Nukem?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I would love to know, like, did they sell the IP or the name, the copyright name? I don't know.
What do you?
Maybe they just never had it copyrighted. I have no idea how that worked out.
Who do you think came first? There has to be some sort of correlation there.
Yeah, when did Duke Nukem get created? I don't know. Captain Planet, underrated, and they are going. I am pretty positive. I heard this that they're going to make it into either a new series or a movie, modern day. Ever since like Leonardo DiCaprio's like production company bought it, they just redid like comics.
Oh, because there was some whole like
he's all into like saving the earth.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So, but they redid some Captain Planet comics in the last year for the first time. So
that's awesome.
Dude,
my local convenience store now has comic books in there.
Are you
saw
serious?
This like shipper and it had comic books.
What?
DC comic books.
Wait, which one?
The bread box.
The bread box has comic books?
Yeah. They got the most random crap in there.
Dude. And they also have like the most drug addicted tellers in there too.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone. They're just trying
Leave them alone. They're just trying to do their job.
Yeah.
What going back to some of the what would be besides Duke Nukem, what would be another IP that you're looking to go back and kind of
that's the thing.
Or just you stumble upon like
if
I know that I've stumbled upon like Star Fox.
Yes.
I had to buy the sealed Star Fox cards from Canada.
Well, that's where I got mine too. And that's the thing. When I was talking to Tim, Big Hat Tim, about these Power Rangers cards specifically, because there were some Power Rangers cards that were produced by, I think they were Dunkin' Donuts. They had some that came out, and I actually have
from the new movie.
No. This is not a new thing. This is from like when the show was on.
Okay.
So they had cards from then, but this set, we believe, was like somewhere, it was produced overseas somewhere, maybe in Australia, for all we know, which would make sense, kind of why we were finding them in Singapore too. But yeah, that's
Captain Planet. You're talking about the Captain Planet.
Yes, it's all Captain Planet related. But all that being said, I'm into things that are from my childhood that I would love to be the first to discover, or I've never heard other people talk about. Like, do you remember what? Beetleborgs?
Oh, dude, Big Bad Beetleborgs?
You remember that? Okay.
Big Bad Beetleborgs. Weirdest show on the planet. Very weird. It's like, and then their clubhouse was like a haunted house, and like Jay Leno was like,
oh yeah, it looked like Jay Leno. I don't think that was actually.
that was
a ripoff of Jay Leno for sure.
Like nothing of that show made sense. I had the toys.
They had the the toys were awesome, right? So there was this guy on the show. The actor's real life name is Todd Hurst. So
Jay Leno?
No. I don't know who it was, but he was one of the Beetleborgs themselves, or he was just like another kid on that show.
Gotcha.
Bottom line is, I worked with that guy when I was in finance, when I was doing like
you worked with Todd Hurst, the Beetleborg.
Yes. Again, I cannot remember if he was an actual Beetleborg or if he was just on the show, but that actor was somebody I worked with at the Jackson National, the financial company. And then he was also in Wedding Singer. He's like the kid who's like puking in the garbage can.
What?
And he's also on like an episode of Malcolm in the Middle. And all of these things I'm like, oh, I remember all of this. Like he didn't even have to tell me. When I saw him, I recognized him from those roles. And we started talking for a while. And yeah, I go back and think like, oh yeah, Beetleborgs. I'd get some cards of Beetleborgs, especially if I could find like one with him on it just to blow his mind. I'd shoot him a picture of it. But yeah, there's all kinds of just fun, nostalgic, weird stuff out there. And some of it is very short print, or some of it may have been massively printed, but just nobody kept it because it just didn't maintain. Like you and I know Beetleborgs, but I bet you there's a ton of listeners out there who don't know about that. So there's going to continue to be things that come up that I'll find that will be either maybe there was already cards, but there's another set that nobody knew about, just like the Captain Planet ones in Singapore. So that's all this stuff I like. This stuff that reminds me of childhood that may have already been an IP that I really liked, and it's another variation of that.
They did have Beetleborg trading cards.
No way. Did they really?
They did.
Shut up.
Guys, if you're listening to this, put down in the comments, let me know what your IP that you would want to go back and collect.
Please.
Dude, I'm thinking.
Also, let me know if you know about Beetleborgs.
Big Bag Beetleborgs.
Is that anything else that people knew about?
Oh, man. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Vintage 1996 Bandai Beetleborgs. collector cards.
Yeah.
No way. Is there one of him? Now I got to figure out what his character was so I can find it for sure.
Do you remember Reboot?
Dude, yes, I loved Reboot on Cartoon Network, or what did they call it after school?
Oh, Toonami.
Toonami, baby. Yes. Oh, I remember Reboot. That was such a good show. And I feel like I went back and tried to like watch it, and it's like
it doesn't hold up.
This is not a good show. Yeah, it was at the time though. It was like when computers were new or newer, right? It was like early 2000s, and I felt like, oh, I'm a cool kid because I know about. Oh, it's in the CPU. I know what that is.
I know what that is.
Oh, it's a virus. What? That's what viruses look like.
How old were you when you first got your first computer? Were you like relatively
my mom
young?
had a computer for work, and so like I remember playing solitaire and stuff on there. Like I remember having a computer before we had internet.
Yeah, me too.
Know, and I remember then getting internet, and we had like the 14.4K modem, and then we got bumped up to the 28K, and then before we got to 56 was a whole new world. I downloaded some songs and maybe like some very short videos. That was a big deal back in the day, before we ever got the cable internet going. So yeah, there's a lot of nerd culture, nerd stuff that I can relate to because of my time and the space of time that I grew up. And I feel like that's a lot of you and
we're
me,
all the
listeners.
millennials. We remember specifically life before the internet.
We're the only generation
after the
internet.
internet.
We're the only generation who has both. We had both times in our life. And that's kind of cool. It makes us special, guys. If you're a millennial out there, feel special because you are. All right.
If you're not a millennial, you're still special.
You're still special, but you got some work to do to get up to a millennial special. By the way, I just want to point out that Ray is wearing a Selena shirt. That's all. I love Selena, the movie.
What's your favorite Selena song?
Bitty bitty bum bum.
Okay.
Bitty bitty bum bum. Yeah, baby. I know about Selena's. All right. First partner Pokemon. You wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. So, Series 1 first partner Pokemon. If you don't know what that is, because we're in the Pokemon 30th anniversary, the 30th anniversary still hasn't come out, which is coming out.
Yeah, when is that coming?
September 16th.
Okay,
my birthday.
Oh,
September 16th is the 30th anniversary set that is going to come out. We still don't know what they're going to put in there, Pokemon, but it's going to be insane. But regardless of that, they are putting out first partner boxes, and there's one pack in them, and in the pack you're able to get in Series 1 of 3 different starters.
Oh, really?
And the first Series 1 you have the original Kanto starters.
Yes.
So
okay.
Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle.
Okay.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the box is around $20, but it's currently reselling for around $50 on market. But the Kanto cards individually, they're going crazy. So
really?
If you're listening to this, because they're going to start releasing all the first partner boxes, Series 2 has already been announced, but the ones that you're going to want are those Kanto starters. So if you think $50 is expensive, I would advise that you go ahead and pick them up, because I don't think these will be reprinted, because they're going to go ahead and do Series 2 and Series 3.
You think they're going
and
up
so on
in
and
value?
so forth.
So 50 is a good deal.
Correct. 50, I think, is a great deal. Just think of this: if you pull in each pack, there's 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so according to what region it is, those are going to be the 3 cards in there. So the Kanto ones, the Squirtle is going for around $30. The Bulbasaur is going for around $27, but the Charmander is going for around $46 of raw pricing.
Wow, raw pricing. Okay.
And initially, when they first came out, the graded cards first started coming out, they were going for crazy amount of money. The first one, on April 15th, a Charmander PSA 10 sold for $910. It's currently selling for around $700.
Jeez.
So it's gone down a little bit, but I just wanted to
still.
And then if you get them all in a sequential set, it's around $2,500, which I think is I don't know if it's going to go up anymore or go down, but I think it'll stay around the same.
Okay.
But I don't know. If you are listening to this and you want those full art Kanto starters, $50 a box, but you're still not guaranteed that you're going to get those cards. So
if you're not listening to this, you got to ask yourself, how do you know what we're saying?
that's right. So the people that are listening to this, you're in the know.
You're in the know for sure. By the way, I was 100% listening to what you were saying, and I do think that is very cool and good value. Now that I've said that, I found a Trip, aka Todd Hurst Beetleborg trading card.
Put it up on the screen. Let's see what this looks like.
I kid you
First
not.
of all, I want to see what this guy looks like. Well, he's probably a kid.
Well, I mean, you can just go to a lot of things. So this is, well, that's the back of the card. Let's see.
Which
here.
one is he
He's
the
this
kid
one.
in the blue?
He's this one in the middle. He's Trip, apparently. Trip is the character that he played, I guess.
Dad? Oh, that's
Thaddeus Trip Vanderhoff.
Are you? Do you still?
I'm
this guy?
This guy is selling. I haven't talked to him since I know maybe a little after I left the finance.
You got
world.
his number?
I do still have his number though.
You get him to autograph it.
Oh baby, you better believe I am. But they're trying to sell this whole set, or it's not even. It's a set of 14 cards. It's not even
Foil
the whole
card.
set. It's just random cards, and they're trying to sell it for $150.
They're listening to the show.
Um,
Maybe you just buy that one card.
Well, that's the thing. I found another guy selling cards, and they've got
Clearly
where you can buy the single card. I'm trying to find right now if it's still available.
Jeezy didn't listen to anything that I said about the first partner packs.
I did too. I heard everything you said, and what I heard was I need to go out and buy some if I can find it at $50.
Yeah, because you can't find them on the shelves.
I'm pretty sure you can go to. I saw it at GameStop when I went to pick up my NFL Chrome that I pre-ordered there last week. I saw some.
What'd you get? Hangers?
I got some hangers, blasters, and then the megas don't come out till May 1st. But I did order 2 of those. By the way, our GameStop locally,
we don't have a GameStop.
Get it together.
We don't have a GameStop.
Well, locally to where this office is, it's in Gallatin.
Listen,
the one in Gallatin.
Do we want to talk about GameStop again?
Get it together because
they are fighting for their lives.
I am tired of this. Like I went down there and supposedly everybody can go there and order 2 unless you're a pro member, and then you can order double. You can order 4. I go to mine and they're like, yeah, you can get 2. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm a pro member. Yeah, you can get 2. I'm like, no, everybody's doing 4. They're like, yeah, we haven't seen anything in writing. The company's provided us nothing in writing about this. We would rather be safe than sorry. I'm like, can you call someone, see if what other people are doing? They call 2 people and they're like, we don't know. And one of them was like, yeah, let's just do 2. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Everyone's getting 4. So it really annoyed me. And that's just a personal issue I have now. So that's all. That's all.
Now you're issue. Now you're in my.
Yeah, I'm entering more into your world, except you're experiencing just prices in general being absolutely
insane. I got to bring this up because I had a little run-in with... It's getting weird out there in these streets. If you are a Pokemon collector or any kind of trading card collectors,
the streets are bad.
It's getting hard. It's getting harder and harder to find, even for someone like myself, to where he's boots on the ground. I'm out there waiting in line, but just and the workers, God bless them, because there's people that just ruin it for everybody.
They're doing their best.
So just if you see somebody that works for MJ Holdings or Excel or whatever, they're just doing their best.
They're not the decision maker.
They're just trying to do their job.
So don't assault them.
Yeah, it's getting rough. Like our Walmart now, all the Pokemon are in the electronics section. Okay. So you have to wait in line and someone has to open the cage and get all the Pokemon out.
Yeah.
And they keep changing the way that it used to be 5 items. Now it's like 1 item per SKU, or it's getting rough out there.
All right. So what you're telling me is don't assault them. Is that
I have never assaulted any.
I'm not going to either.
Over Pokemon.
I thought you were going to say anybody over the age.
Didn't someone just get killed over Pokemon cards at a Kroger?
Well, they did in Japan. I don't
know. Like recently, I think.
Local?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't hear about that.
Outside of a Kroger, I believe.
Dear Lord. People are insane.
What do you think about that? Are we in 2020, 2021 territory right now?
Let me just, if you have to ask, let me go ahead and say, I'm against murdering for Pokemon cards. That way, no one has to ask me that question ever again.
Let me rephrase that question. What do you think about the state of the hobby, trading card hobby, as it is right now? Because everything is going crazy.
That's actually a good question.
Because NFL Chrome is crazy. Like everything that I've seen, people are spending so much money, on trading cards that it's like, what are we doing? Like, it almost doesn't feel right. To your point, like you always tried in your breaks, you always try to give people value.
Yeah.
You never, even in your whatnots or your eBay streams, you're like, I'm not trying to like cheat anybody. I'm not trying to like,
I'm trying to make money, but I'm not trying to gouge anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the state of the hobby currently?
The problem is it goes back to the conversation we had, a week or 2 weeks ago, is like, whose fault is it for break prices being what they are? And I think for a large part of that discussion, we kind of established it's the people who are spending the money, who are willing to pay these crazy prices. But
what about outside of the overall, the breaking, the people lining up, I have no problem pre-orders, with people, like everything around trading cards right now. It just seems so, I don't know. It's like almost like we're at the tippy top and somehow we're going to come down here in the future.
Yeah. I think there is I
could be completely wrong.
If you listen, and I think if you probably stopped and thought about all the comments I've made over the last number of months.
I do listen to you.
No, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have been on this train.
It's a different question.
I do listen to you. Listen to what I'm saying right now. I think we are at that point. And I've been warning that be aware. Be aware of where we are, because I don't think every part of the hobby will collapse. I don't think the hobby's going to collapse, period. Let me just say that as well. I do think that we are going to have a correction. I'm just hoping it's not a major correction. I want to see prices come down quite a bit in some areas, because some things don't seem right to me. They just don't compute where wax is what it is. And then you go and try and sell the singles, and almost nobody is making any actual profit if you were trying to sell. But it's also a bigger problem in the sense that there's so many people just trying to buy cards to sell them, and they're not actually collecting them.
They're just buying, selling. They're just being
just a
sold.
cycle. It's a cycle.
It's like
of
MLL.
Yeah,
MLM.
I don't know what that is.
Multi-level market.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. I could see that.
Or Ponzi scheme.
It feels like that in some sense, because there's so many people who will buy. Here's the thing. I don't think it's all cards though, and this is where I'm going to probably irritate some people. I think it's sports cards. I think a big part of it is sports cards. And I do think this is happening in Pokemon. And I think it's happening in non-sport too. But I think the majority of people that are just doing I'll buy that card and then they'll try and flip it and someone else will buy it and they may lose their money and they have to sell it for less. And then someone's going to buy it for a good deal and they're going to try and flip it. And I do think that's happening more on the sports card side of thing. I do think that we'll still continue to see that forever. That's just how collectors go. Some are trying to make some money and some are trying to collect. But the biggest issue is when there's a way outnumbering of people trying to flip versus collect. That is where I think you will see prices do exactly what they're doing, which is skyrocket. And then they'll find out, oh, nobody wants to buy this at this new high price. And then it'll come down. And when people are like, oh, well, no one wants to buy it at that price, and it'll come down. And then it'll just drop. And we'll either see a return to some kind of normalcy, maybe something that we saw in 2025, or maybe it's even 2024 pricing. But then hopefully it bounces out and we can start working our way back up. Just how we saw in 2021, where we saw a huge spike and then it crashed down. But then it didn't drop below pre-COVID pricing. It just dropped down a little bit higher than where we were at pre-COVID pricing. And then we slowly moved our way back up to where we are now. I think this is not an insane thing for collectors to experience. I think this is something that many collectors have seen in one way or another. It's all, in my mind, I don't know if it's necessarily, you could call it like a healthy experience, but I do think it is something that we all experience. And now it's Like, where do you fall in that? Do you fall in the part of, oh, I'm going to be the guy who's holding the bag? Or are you going to be the one who's like, oh, I'm going to sell out everything and then be left with nothing? And you're just like, oh, I wish I had kept a few things because the market didn't crash. I don't know. I don't know how to say for everyone, this is exactly what you should do, other than be aware. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and be a collector first and then decide if you want to flip something.
Yeah.
Don't do like, oh, I'm going to take my savings, my entire savings account, go buy all of this kind of card, and then see if I can't just flip it for 20, 30, 100% profit, whatever it is. And then in the meantime, you're left holding the bag because the market fell, So that's all. It's all a big way of saying, I don't know, but be careful.
So it's just weird. It's so weird out there. And I know we're going to bring this up, and to this point, the Ascended Heroes Pikachu is now selling in a raw prices for around $2,000. There is no reason why that card should be $2,000.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the set is still being printed. It is a anniversary set, so that set can still be printed 3 to 4 years from now. And
That's
I don't know
crazy.
why people are buying it for $2,000, and to a point to where that was one of the cards that came across our table when we set up at the National, was that Pikachu, and I bought it for $300, and I was almost not going to buy it for $300 because that set just came out that day or that weekend. And I knew it was going to go down because they're going to print more. And that's a card that I turned around and sold it for $390. I thought I was doing good by making $90 on it. Looking back, shoot, I should have kept it. But you just never know.
Yeah.
But in my logical thinking, I'm thinking this set is going to be printed to the ground.
Yeah.
This card is not going to hold a $300 value for very much longer, but man, I was completely wrong, and now the card is $2,000, and in the PSA 10 it's around $5,000, and it's just some of the things just doesn't make sense. To your point, the Burger Chew, what was the other Pikachu card that used to hold the title of the most graded Pokemon card, which is the gray felt hat Pikachu, has now exceeded over $3,000.
Which that's so it's upsetting because I sold my SGC 10 for like $1,000 and some change. But it's also upsetting because is it even real? Because we talked about before how there's that company that's openly buying up the entire market, trying to purposely create a lower volume of these cards out there. So it's like, it's not like illegal. And by me saying, is that fair? I know I sound like a child, but it also just seems like, oh, is that real scarcity or is that just manufactured scarcity? But again, that's where this is where I go down a rabbit hole, because then what is the hobby if not manufactured scarcity? It's just
that's
companies.
What it is.
Yeah, it's companies purposely making a limited amount of this.
Let's put a serial number. Like 1 of 1, 1 of 25.
All I know is I've now purchased multiple Todd Hurst Beetleborg cards.
This guy is a maniac.
That's all I need to care about in this moment. Because you know what? I don't care about the fact that the market is what it is, because these cards are costing me, for 3 of them, I found a site that would sell me singles for $4 each. I'm going to spend less than $20 on a few of these cards, and it's going to be really funny when I show them to him and I send one off to him I send 2 off, one he can keep and one that I want him to sign and send back to me. I think that's funny, and I think it's fun, and I think it would be a good talking point, and I don't care about the rest.
The pop one.
And I think that's a lot of people, though. I think they don't care about the drama. I think the people who listen to this, they probably might be interested. Maybe they're not. Maybe they fast forward this section, but maybe it's just a thing of, hey, keep yourself informed, and from there, have fun. That's what I ultimately hope it is, because I do think there's so many things we could get scared of. There's so many things in this world, not even the hobby. We can make ourselves worried to death, but ultimately, can we be safe and enjoy something without totally experiencing all the negative parts of it? I think so. I don't think we have to be out there in the lines trying to, losing our job because we had to leave early to go get Pokemon at Target.
Don't lose your job on Pokemon cards.
So yeah, that's it. Just be aware, play it smart, and enjoy yourself. The end.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
What else? I think that was it. I think that's it. You know what? Let's just call it at that anyways. We've been recording for an hour and 43 minutes. Granted, I think this episode won't be that long. We'll cut down some spaces.
Correct.
But man, it's going to be really
any
close
new
to
releases? You breaking anything?
No, that's the thing. That's what's so irritating was last week when NFL Chrome came out and we had 2 non-sport releases in the same week and we had nothing the following week. It's fine. I'm not upset. But you know what? There will be some fun stuff coming up. The following week, we've got Toy Story 30th anniversary, which is going to be very limited.
2 cases.
I have 2 cases. If you've seen the cases themselves,
2
they've
out
shown
of
pictures. Or the box. I don't know if it's actually the case or it's just the box. The boxes look.
The hobby box?
They look like a toy box. Like it looks awesome.
The toy chest from Andy's.
Yes, they're so cool. I'm very excited. I think I'm just going to keep them and never let them see the light of day. That's not true.
Here's something that we can bring up, and it's real quick.
We need to hurry. Yeah, I just said how long this episode is. Let's finish.
WrestleMania was this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the wrestlers are wearing patches on their boots.
There you go. Like, I mean, it's new wrestlers, right? Isn't that the thing?
The majority of them were wearing patches on their boots.
Even if they've been.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has a patch now.
So I'm thinking it's going to be WrestleMania 42 patch.
Okay. All right.
On some of the trading cards.
All right.
1 of 1, whoever. Oh, and then Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns. If you have those from Top Chrome, they are doing a buyback.
Those are the buybacks?
Those are the buybacks.
Okay, cool. That is actually pretty cool. Yeah. By the way, if you don't know what the buyback is, it's basically where if you take the base cards, you get cash at a local card shop. So long as they have like a tops allocation,
trade credit
down there. Yeah, trade credit.
Trade credit.
Yeah. You get to, but they're cash basically. You get money.
Trade credit and cash are a little different, but
they're cash if you want to spend them in a card shop. Otherwise, they are not cash. They are trade credit, and you have to spend them in a card shop. There. Does that help? Are we happy now?
Trade credit. Liv Morgan, Roman Reigns.
$28.98 is what I spent for all of my Beetleborgs cards because I also bought a few other ones.
Come on, Jeezy.
So I'm very happy. This show's been great. I've had a great time with you, Ray, and I've also got to buy cards. Also, I do want to just mention this. If you got into this point, I kind of wanted to say it at the beginning. We did not have the SCN podcast today. We did not record that one. Mike's stepdad, he's going to pass very soon. So I was down there with him. He's been there with his mom and the rest of the family like throughout the last number of days. We thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but it's going very quickly. So he's probably going to pass sometime this week is more than likely. So if you guys think about him, if you want to drop him a nice message or whatever, just thinking about you, buddy, whatever, I'm sure he would appreciate it. But if anyone's curious why we're just doing this pod and not the other one, that's why. So, that being said, we'll be back next Monday. More fun content on our social medias. Guys, special request. I know we've just say like, hey, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. And we want you to do that. Please continue to. But specifically, if you have an Apple or an Apple account, can you leave a review?
Favorite kind of apple?
Shut. Let me finish it, and then you can ask your
Fiji? Honeycrisp?
I swear to God, Ray. Go to Hobby Nonsense Podcast, Apple. If you just type in to Google Hobby Nonsense Podcast, Google or Apple, you'll find the podcast on Apple. If you will leave a review, hopefully it's a 5-star
review.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review. But if you will leave a review, it would mean a lot. It for whatever reason, it means something to people, and it would be very helpful. So that's all. Other than that, just have fun. Come back, listen, watch our socials. We'll have more fun content. The video you did of me, like, why your man's not calling you back, that was so funny. My wife, Sam, loved that. She thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it was very, very funny.
I was watching you doing it. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
It's me singing songs in the Powerline
It just
costume.
happened to...
Yeah, it was just perfect timing. I'm wearing the Powerline. You know what? Just watch it. Go to Instagram, watch it. It'll be the only video where you see a female as the thumbnail because it'll be
right.
very much throwing you off. But anyways, that's the show. We will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.
See y'all.
Bye.